your thoughts as you get ready for the tournament this week. Your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm in a really good place after Cincinnati. I thought I played some good ball there, and I'm happy with where I am in my season. Feel fresh mentally and physically, and yeah, excited for this week. Obviously, my favorite tournament of the year.
Okay, thank you. Questions, Chris?
With U.S. Open, you've had great results at slams already in your career. I think you've only played 8 quarterfinals, Australia in your second, and then the semifinal last year, which was your 5th appearance. I just wanted you to reflect how much it means for you to have that level of success, especially when, as you say, you're not really developed into the player you feel you're going to be in years to come. So to have that success so early when you're not really the tennis player you want to be, what does that mean to you confidence-wise?
Yeah, it means a lot. For me, being a competitor, it means even more because I think that more than anything, 3 out of 5 sets is a competitive and physical test. It's a war. It's a little different than 2 out of 3 sets. I think there's a lot more to think about if you're willing or if you're able to go the distance in a 5-set match. So that's one of the things that I love about Grand Slams, and I think helps me excel at the Grand Slam level. So, yeah, anytime that I get to play in this 3 out of 5 format, preferably when I'm not also playing doubles, I think I'm playing well.
Manage Bertini Sport, you opted not to play at the Olympics and you played the full North American season on hardcore. I was just wondering if you could analyze what you achieved against what you expected to achieve, and also I was wondering if you were watching the other American players playing at the Olympics.
Yeah, definitely watching the other American players at the Olympics. Really cool to see Tommy and Taylor get that medal and the bronze medal in doubles, and obviously Raj and Austin fighting for the gold. I was tuned in for sure. Also really cool to see my good friend Chris Eubanks get his first Olympics experience. But yeah, it was a tough decision, but the way that our schedule is, I think it's a good decision and a decision that I had to make. The schedule is so long. There's no breaks. If I was to go back again to Europe, another surface change, I think with where I'm at right now, it just would have been too much. I'm really happy with, how these 4 tournaments have gone. I didn't perform well in every single one, but making semifinals in Washington after losing first round last year and quarterfinals in Cincinnati for the first time. I think that my prep for the U.S. Open has gone how I've wanted it to go. So yeah, I'm overall happy with my decision. Not one that I wanted to have to make, but necessary.
Brian.
Following up on that, Brian Lewis from New York Post. So, following up on that, I mean, so many of you guys are young and presumably going to be even better in the future, but what's your take on seeing so many American men ranked where they are, top 20 and so forth, coming into this Open in the state of American tennis?
Yeah, I think it's a testament to the work that we've put in here in the United States in the last 15 years in tennis. You usually don't see the fruits of your work immediately, and you see a lot of guys breaking through around the same age, that at whatever time they were developing, we were doing something right, and that's a lot of credit to the culture that we've built here with American tennis and the USTA. Having a group like Riley, Tommy, Francis, and Taylor come through at the exact same time, being almost the same age, is kind of unheard of from every country or from any country, especially with 3 of the 4 of those guys being in that top 20 group right now. So I'm just excited to be a part of it, kind of along for the ride. I had a little bit different tennis upbringing than those guys, but I think it's just proof that there's a lot of different ways here in the U.S. to make it.
Howard.
I've been Howard Fendrich with the Associated Press. A little bit connected to that, I'm curious, you obviously, well, I shouldn't say, but I would imagine you want to win a Grand Slam title for Ben Shelton. But is there any motivation or inspiration behind the idea of being an American man to win a Slam title. It's been a while since the country's had one. Does that enter your mindset at all?
I wouldn't say it does enter my mindset at all. I think that the gradual improvement of the ranking of American players over the last 3-4 years is proof to where we're going. I think it's inevitable that we will have a Grand Slam champion from our country. I don't know when it's going to be or who it's going to be. Certainly, I have a bunch of goals for myself, but I think that the most important is the everyday work, the small improvements, the process. That's what I focus on, and I think that that's what's important for me individually and us as a country.
On an unrelated topic, I have a colleague working on a story looking at the boom in pickleball in the U.S. I'm curious, do you think tennis should be worried at all about the popularity of pickleball? And what do you think the USTA's stance should be toward pickleball?
Nah, man, I got no comment about that.
Hi, Ben. Just going back to the Olympics quickly, that was obviously a really tough decision for you. Do you wish tennis could find a way to make more space for the Olympics in its schedule somehow so that players like you aren't put in a position to have to make a difficult decision like that?
Yeah, it's tough. When you look at the way that other sports do things, it's hard to compare because a lot of those other sports revolve around the Olympics, and that's their biggest event. For us, I would say that, playing in the Grand Slams, historically, players put more emphasis on the Grand Slams than the Olympics. That's just the way that our sport is, and it's such a cool event that brings so many athletes together. It would be nice if there was more space in the calendar for the Olympics, but I'm not sure how that would happen. It's not like I'm asking them like, oh, LA 28, can we have more space? I think it's also a regional thing. Playing in LA that week isn't too big of a deal, but I'm sure for the guys in Tokyo in 2021, it was even more difficult. In 2032 in Brisbane, I mean, I'm not sure how that's going to work. So, yeah, it would be a nice thing to see, but like I said, I don't know how that would happen.
Chris.
Can you elaborate a little bit on some of the things you liked in your game in Cincinnati, and then just overall, what are some of the improvements you think you've made maybe in the last 52 weeks from the last U.S. Open to here?
Yeah, I think I've made a lot of progress, especially in my movement. I think I'm a much better mover than 52 weeks ago. I think I'm a better and more consistent, well-rounded baseline player. In volleyer as well, I think I've improved in... Are you good? I think I've improved in almost every aspect. One of the other things that I've improved on is my professionalism. I think I do a better job day in, day out doing the right things, and you don't always see the results right away from those efforts, but they're definitely there. And one of the things that I loved about the way I played in Cincinnati is it was difficult conditions, really fast court, a lot of wind, not easy for anyone to play there, and there was a lot of complaints about the conditions there, and I thought that I did a great job adapting and adjusting. I think that the greats who've won many, many, many titles, namely Roger, Novak, and Rafa, they can adapt. They can win Roland Garros and not play a tournament, and then go win or be in the finals of Wimbledon. So I think adapting to different surfaces, different conditions on the fly is something that's really important in our sport because we're not always using the same balls or playing on the same surfaces. So that's just one of the things that I took some confidence from, even though it's not a specific tennis thing.
Howard.
I wanted to ask you about Padel. No, just kidding. A year ago, obviously, big breakthrough here. Wonderful 2 weeks for you. I'm wondering what would you say sticks out the most in your mind from last year's tournament? And if you could point to one way in which that whole experience maybe informs things for you now and maybe can help you moving forward, what would you say that was?
I think, tough question, good question. I think that you learn a lot from these experiences, how best to recover from a tough 5-set match, how to get yourself to sleep after, playing the night session here. How each court plays different, whether you're playing out on Grandstand or Court 10 or on Arthur Ashe. I think there's a lot of things to think about depending on the situation you're in. If you're someone who's unseeded and maybe you're playing most of your matches on an outside court, you have a big run and then suddenly you're playing one of the big guys on stadium and you've never been in there before. So I think that having a little bit better idea of just how the tournaments work, the possible situations that you could be in, rain delays and different things that can happen throughout the week, and not freaking out when they happen, knowing that some of these things are going to happen and being okay with them, and that's just our sport. I think that also the better that you do, the more that you're able to put yourself in those good situations where you're playing on a court with a roof over your head and you don't have to worry about the rain delay. You're going to play on time and you won't have to get doubled up or play back-to-back days because you didn't finish a match. It's just a lot of things that make this sport fun and interesting and difficult at the same time, challenging, but all stuff that I love.
Okay, we good? Last question.
Just one about the first round opponent, former champion, last Grand Slam of the career. Is it somehow special? Do you think it's going to be? I mean, I haven't checked the schedule. I don't know if it's going to be on Ashe or something like that. Do you have any special feeling about the match that obviously has different implications?
Yeah, I think it definitely has some hype for a first round match. I love playing in those big type of moment matches. Hate to see that it's Dami's last Grand Slam, because when I was starting to get into tennis, that was one of the guys who was killing it on TV every single week. But yeah, I think anytime that you play a former champion at a tournament, especially a Grand Slam, it's a special experience and a tough challenge. He held the trophy here at the end of the 2 weeks, which not many people in the world can say that they've done. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity, and just excited to kick it off. I think the fans will love this type of matchup, and I'm just I'm gonna soak it all in.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks.
Thank you.